A sad but true fact about me is that I've been hoarding rolling pins for quite a while. I buy them at thrift stores. I have all of these that I need to do something with. So first, we're going to work with 2 of them. I'm going to give them a good wash. So first off, I'm going to use Crud Cutter. This is my go-to for getting all the scudge off. And I'm just spraying it on them full strength. And I'm gonna let this sit on there for a bit. This will get rid of any oils or anything else that's on there. Like that old price tag bit. Get that worked off. So we're just going to let this sit there for a couple minutes and really soak in, and then we will scrub them. Okay, so these have been sitting there for a couple minutes. And now this is just a dollar store scrubby. And I'm just going to give it a good scrub. You don't want to leave these soaking in the sink, or you don't want to wash them in the dishwasher because they're wood. So dishwashers are really hard on wood. This one's got some good dents in it. I think they used it as a weapon. I'll give these a really good rinse, because Crud Cutter will act as a resist to your paint. So you want all of that off. So once you have that, you can feel when there's no more suds or solvent residue left. And it squeaks. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to give those a good chance to dry overnight, so they're really dry. Okay, so these 2 have been washed and they are good. This one's got a little bit still, maybe some oily spots, but I think it's going to be okay. This one looks really good. It turned out really, really good. So Crud Cutter for the win, because remember how gross this one looked? So that's good. So my plan is to stamp them. And I'm not going to, they're really clean, they're really dry. I was going to paint them first, and then I thought, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stamp them. So this is one of the IOD thin mounts. This one is, you can't get these ones anymore. They look like this now. So pretty much the same thing, but they have these ovals on them, circle and then 2 ovals. And they're just guidelines to help you line up your stamps and any which way you want. So I don't think this one, is it wide enough? It is. So I'll just use this one then, because that's what's available for you guys. Put that one aside. So my first thing to do is I want to measure out how much I need on this thin mount. So I'm going to mark just on the end of my rolling pin. I'm just putting a little pencil mark where my thin mount starts, and then I'm just going to roll it until that little pencil mark, which is now on the top, I want that to be right back down on the bottom again. So that's basically up to right here. So it's about a half. So I'm going to work on this half. So see, there's blue lines that mark the center point of this thin mount. So I'm going to use from the one vertical blue line this way to mark out how many stamps I need. Because my plan is, I've never done this before, but you guys all know I'm always game for first timing things here. And I'm just going to roll it across the stamps once I've inked the stamps. So first, let's lay out a scene. So for this one, I'm going to use IOD's Rural Scenes because it has all of this fun there's little animals, and I want to keep them kind of farmy. So let's lay out a little scene here. I have not used this stamp set yet, but I have conditioned it. I'm pretty sure I conditioned it. Yes, I did. So first things first, let's get this little house. Okay, let's give this a go. So I'm going to use black ink. I've got all my inks in this little bin. I'm going to test it first on this brown paper that I've got on my table. I'll go up here a bit. Oh, there, that doesn't look so bad. Going to move this a little bit closer. Okay. Now this is a total experiment. I'm gonna make sure I get ink everywhere. Okay, so now that I've measured this out, I should be able to just start. Maybe I'm going to put a little piece of tape so that my thin mount doesn't move. So I'm just putting a piece of tape up at the top. And I should be able to just roll with pretty good pressure. I should have hung on to the handles. What was I thinking? Okay, that actually worked out pretty good. I have one missed spot here and another one right there. But I think it's probably just variations in the rolling pin. But But I think that looks kind of cool. It's very farmhousey. Okay, so now this has to dry completely. And then I would just seal it with a hemp oil. And whether then you could actually use it or not, I would probably say no. But they'd be good for a decorative, just a little decorative piece in your kitchen or on a shelf. And if you find that your stamps start losing their stickiness, wipe the back with rubbing alcohol and let them air dry, and it should bring that back. Now I'm just going to set that aside. This one, I have to measure this one. So let's put my tiny little pencil mark. And we'll do the same thing. So not quite. This one's smaller. That is okay. And on this one, I want to use the Pennsylvania Folk stamp. Just because it's fun. And I haven't used this. Oh, and it's shorter too, so I have to take that into account. Okay, so this is there. Okay, so on this one I want to use the green ink. I don't have any specific reason. I just think the green is going to work. So this is IOD ink, and it's called New Grass. And I'm just gonna wipe off any excess that I got up here. Okay, so on this one, I want to give it a little bit of padding, just to make up for any inconsistencies with the rolling pin. This will give it that little bit of give, I think. I think that'll work. Oh, I need my tape or it's gonna move. That looks cool. I've got a little bit of where I didn't quite go far enough, but I can fix that. I just use a baby wipe to wipe off my stamps kind of as I go. If I've had them out for quite a while, if I'm doing really big projects, I will leave them on the thin mount then, and just with dish soap and a silicone scrub brush, silicone bristles, I just give it a good wash. Dish soap works really, really well. Okay, so now I wanted to kind of fill this gap. So what I'm going to do is just grab a little piece of thin mounts, and let's go in with, I don't really want to put anything right here because it's going to look like the bird just kind of pooped it out, isn't it? We can put one of these. So that makes for a fun, kind of folksy looking rolling pin. I like this one. I like them both, but I really like this one. So on these, once they're dry, they have to be good and dry. So I'm going to let them dry. Maybe I'll take the heat tool. No, because I'm going to put oil, hemp oil, I'm going to let these dry overnight. And then I will show you the finished, how they look when they're all done and oiled. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope this inspired you to do something with your rolling pins if you've been hoarding rolling pins like I have.